All right, good morning. Welcome back to TwinStick Garage. So as usual, old Mark has no shortage of work that needs doing here in the shop. I just got a shipment from the day cab company. That's the new interior for the Iron Duke. Blake's on his way over with a friend of his that does some fabrication work. So we're gonna take the tub fenders from the Big Rig Chrome shop and mock those up and get a sense of what we need to do there. And then I reached out to the gear center and I said, hey, can you guys help me out with the Iron Duke Driveline? So of course, Dallas, a single drive there, he gave me this cutoff, but the front peanut there on the third member actually blew up on his single drive truck. So he stole the one out of here. And so I still need to get that. And I reached out to them and said, can you guys help me out? And they go, oh yeah, no problem. So take both third members off and bring them in and we'll either rebuild them or exchange them for other ones. Because these are 456 gears and I'm thinking I want something a little more mileage friendly, so like 373s. So I'll get those pulled and taken over to the gear center, and then their partner, Pat's Driveline, was gonna help me out with the custom drive shaft as well, because as you can see, the original drive shaft ends about there, and we still got about 8 feet to go. So we're gonna have to get a new drive shaft measured up and built, and then probably another carrier bearing or steadying bearing in the middle. And yeah, I still got to get these brackets put on there and drilled and remounted. And then Blake needs to finish up the exhaust, the custom exhaust. You see he's working on that there. Isn't that pretty? So yeah, he's got some of the videos on his channel. Go check him out at Fly Weld Fabricate. He's been doing a lot of the welding there. Still needs to come around, put that Y pipe in, and then bring them around to here. And that's where the 8-inch straight pipes are going to go all the way up to the top. So it's gonna be fantastic. So with that, let's stop talking, Mark, and start working. Yeah. Here, let's open this thing up and see what we look like. Oh, look at that. Woo! We should take it down and we'll get back here.
I got dibs.
Oh, you got a bigger chrome top hat?
Yeah, there.
Well, that's actually the company that makes it.
You betcha.
Let me see here. Fibertech. Oh, Fibertech. That's a great company. They're the ones that made the roof cap for the Peterbilt.
Oh.
So I guess they're making fenders now as well. You can buy through the Big Rig Chrome shop. See the notches there. So would that be obviously inside of it?
Yeah, the notches will go to the inside.
Okay, so you got that one? Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, some guys aren't fans of tub fenders. And I wasn't at first, but the more I think about it, just because there's so much frame here, and you got the big cab at the front and then nothing in between, I kind of wanted to give a little bit more volume to the back end, which is why I think these are going to work so good. Yeah. Good. You have to sand them down, obviously, and paint them. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what are you thinking for mounting, Blake?
A couple different ways we can do it. I'm thinking that I'll build something for it to receive into in the middle, because what I'm thinking will be pretty cool is if I have some sort of like slide bracket that comes out and tips up like that.
Yes.
And then has a nice display on everything. So that one tilts like that.
And then the other one tilts forward?
And this one would tilt the exact same, but opposites. I think that would be a pretty cool way to just have another display on this truck, you know?
Well, it would be. And plus, it would also give access to take tires off, because I never thought of that. That once those tub fenders hug around the tires, how the hell are you going to change a tire? You got a flat.
Exactly. I love accessibility for working on stuff. I've been in many holes that are not fun. So
Wow. All right, well, I guess we'll take some measurements and get some aluminum cut up.
You betcha. Oh, that's gonna be killer.
So I'm just playing a little bit of juggling here because I needed to get the crane over top of the Duke so I could pull out those third members. So I just set my wildfire lift up with the casters and I'm just pushing it out of the way temporarily. Turn that noisy old girl off. Okay, so now I should be able to roll that over in place. Yeah, that's the problem with a shop just big enough for 3 trucks. It gets a little cozy at times. But let me show you what these fenders are going to look like. Huh? What do you think of that? Like I was saying, gives a little more size to the back end of the truck. I think that's going to look fantastic. Truck's so long, can't get it in frame. Yeah. So obviously they need some very custom mounts. And like I mentioned in earlier videos, we're going to have a light bar across the front with lights all the way around. And then as Blake was talking about, he wanted to get that tilting action going. And then in the back here, we're planning to do a light bar across the back, same thing with lights. And then all the way across. And then this plate here will have the TwinStick Garage logo cut into it and backlit. I think it's going to be fantastic. A lot of hours still before we get that all in place, but I'm really happy with that. So thanks again to the Big Rig Chrome Shop and to FiberTech for helping out TwinStick Garage with those fenders. I can't wait to get them mounted and painted up just like the cab and the frame, nice bright red. It's going to be awesome. And I got some big things in store for the Trans Am. Obviously the Trans Am is going to get built next year. However, this year I did order a line lock that I'm going to put on there. And we're going to get up on the stand. We'll do some maintenance on the car in a future episode, and then we'll do burnouts for days. And to reveal what's under the tarp, so that is a 400 Pontiac 6.6 liter engine. So that would be movie correct, because that's what they had in the movie cars, the 3 movie cars that they wrecked, and then of course the 1 car that they used for promotion. I believe all had the 6.6 in there. You can see the little sticker on the shaker hood. So this thing's got the 6X heads in it. Supposedly the torque converter's got a high stall, but at least I got a second transmission now. Now when I called the guy, it was a friend of mine that got me in touch with this guy, and I asked what year is the block. And he goes, oh, it's a 1975. And I went, ooh, because those are supposedly the years. That was the year they decided to start cutting weight out of the 6.6 liter engines. And what they were doing was they were shaving the cross supports, the bearing supports on the crank mains. I mean, what a place to take weight out of a car. If you could take weight anywhere, that would be the last place you'd want to take it out. So I went, oh, 1975 engine, that's not going to be good. So I said, can you get me the numbers off the block? And the guy couldn't find them. So I went there fully expecting it to be I think it's a 577 serial number, and you want to stay away from those ones. But I ended up getting there, and look at this, it's a 481988. And so I quickly Googled that, and what that came up with is these were the early 1975 blocks before they started doing that nonsense of thinning out the mains. So hopefully it's a good candidate for an engine. Plan to build this with my daughter Reese over the winter here. I got a Vevor engine stand, so thanks to Vevor, we'll get that set up in a future episode and start tearing this down. And I really want to put a big, heavy, lumpy cam, high lift, long duration. Blake wants to help me with some stainless steel exhaust. I mean, this thing's gonna go. So the missus shouldn't have any trouble doing burnouts at the stoplights once that's in there. Okay, what's next? I gotta try and get this gantry around there. Oh, I actually want to take a look at what the Big Rig, or not the Big Rig Chrome Shop, the Day Cab company. Awesome company. They've been building the interiors for all of my trucks. And like I say, this package arrived a little while ago. So maybe I'll wheel it into the middle and we'll take a look at the interior panels for the Duke. So this is the first interiors that the Day Cab company's been making for cab overs. Up until recently, all they've ever made is interiors for conventional. So if you've got an old cab over truck and the interior looks like this one did, tear all those old panels out of there, send them to the day cab company and they'll make new ones out of whatever color and whatever material you want. Yeah, that actually turned out pretty nice. Swapped it over and ready to go to work. Before I start pulling those diffs, let's take a peek at what's in there. For those that are new here, I only work, this is a hobby of mine, and I work on my trucks one day per week. So I work on Saturdays only. I have a day job. So it's hard to get these projects done. And because I've got 3 active projects, well, 4 with the Trans Am, 5 with the trailer, all going on simultaneously, it does take some time to get these vehicles done, because for the most part, other than a few friends that help me out from time to time, I do this all by myself. So the cab on the Iron Duke is a ways away from actually being able to put these new interior panels in. So I still need to finish cleaning it out. I've got to prime it. I'm going to paint it the same red that the outside of the truck's going to be. That way, when the door panel kind of doesn't come quite to the edge, you'll see nice red paint underneath. And then I got to put new windshield glass in, and I should probably swap out the dash with Carmen's custom dash that he got me. So there is a lot of work that needs to be done on the interior before I put these panels in. So it's going to be a bit of a wait on this. I hope to get to it sometime this fall, this winter. But I wanted to take a quick peek and see what the day cab company put together, because I'm like a kid at Christmas and I just can't resist looking at this giant present without opening it. So again, if you've got an old semi truck and you've got a rotten interior in it, because most of these old 70s trucks, or even the 80s and 90s ones, can have shredded interiors, or maybe you've got a newer truck and you just don't like what they had in there and you want something a little more custom, and the day cab company is what you want to check out. So obviously daycabs.com, they've got all kinds of different designs. I really love the button tuft or button tuck. It's the same thing that I went with in the Peterbilt, and I'm just a really big fan of it. It's a Kenworth style with those the big buttons in the diamond shaped tufts. But it's something that I really like, and I wanted to do the same with this. Doesn't matter how big your shop gets, you'll always find a way to fill it up. Oh man, you guys have outdone yourselves. Look at that. Oh, that is absolutely gorgeous. Now this is attached. Not sure where, oh, it must make a bend there. Wow, would you look at that. That is what I was hoping for. So a dark wine color with the white buttons. Oh man, that is nice. Let's sneak it up in the truck and see what it's gonna look like. Oh yeah, it's obviously not the spot that it goes in, but you get the idea. That is just gonna pop. Thank you so much, Day Cab Company. You guys really did a wicked job. And now you've really given me some motivation to get going on this interior. Oh, and here's a door panel. Oh, look at that. Let's see what it looks like on the truck. Oh yeah. Huh? That is gonna be sweet. Oh man, it's a shame I gotta put this Christmas present away for a while, but it's gonna be waiting for me. And I can't wait. I can't wait to put those on there. It's gonna be amazing. So these old Kenworth trucks, they came with the original hard plastic cream colored headliners. So normally they're cracked over time and they just, they're kind of ugly if you ask me. So I thought I was gonna have to reuse these, but no, I was digging in the Christmas box there and look at this. Isn't that nice? They recreated it out of the hardboard and then the red wine vinyl that I asked for. But look at that. Isn't that going to be cool? Tucks right up in there. And then you've got the cutout already for the oval 6x9 speaker. And then the other cutout for the cab light, the original cab light. So that is awesome. Thanks again, Day Cab Company. That is pretty sweet. So first up, I want to drain the oil out of here, out of both diffs. water. No, diesel. No, water. Oh man, that is ugly, ugly stuff. Oh, this diff's probably pooched. Oh, there comes the oil. There was more water than oil in that mess. Oh man, it's a good thing we're taking this out of here, because it's gonna need a rebuild. How did so much water get in there? It's almost like someone took this thing off-roading. Yeah, the fact that it's gurgling as well as it's trying to drain out of there leads me to believe that that breather isn't working either. So I'll have to address that, but yeah, that's just nasty, nasty stuff. So next up, I just gotta remove the axles out of the housing to allow the third member to come out of there. Now, one good thing I like to do when I go to Princess Auto when these go on sale is pick up some of these plastic bins, because they're great for holding parts. Now, behind the nut is a little cone kind of spacer or washer, and when I've taken these off before, I've never had them pop out on me, but people have commented in earlier videos and they said, oh, you better be careful because those can come out of there and they can go shooting across the shop. What I might do is loosen off all the nuts, and then I'll try and hit the end of the axle here and try and break them all loose. That way there won't be any energy there, so they won't go flying across. I know. I need a real set of torches. Using all of my back and a little of my brain, finally got it loose. Obviously I had to take the wheel off to hit it directly from behind. Man, that was a bit of work. All right, I don't see any significant wear on the axle splines. I mean, of course, there's a little bit of rusty water on there, but I think I'll be able to reuse those. And then on the hub, that's the last thing you want to find is rust in your oil where your wheel bearings sit. But never fear, I'm actually planning on replacing this whole mess. Of course, I beat the heck out of the hub there trying to hit the axle off, but I'm going to replace all of these, all four corners here, with brand new Conmet hubs and bearings. So no big deal. I'm not too worried about this. Again, this was the donated rear clip from Dallas at Single Drive there. So I can't criticize him too much because it was free. All right, so now to repeat the process on the other side. Oh man. And of course, more water and slime. My poor Princess Auto hammer is giving up. I guess it wasn't designed for working on 40-year-old trucks. All right, well, 2 down, 2 to go. Oh, look at that smooge. Oh, isn't that lovely? Yeah, these things are past their prime. So next up, I need to get this short little drive shaft out of here in order to pull this third member out of the back diff. So I'll just undo all the 9/16 bolts that are holding on the end caps, and then give the old Tiger tool a run for its money. Man, this thing's come in handy. If you got old trucks, you definitely need one of these. potential energy here. And I've only got it, you know, I got a punch in there for safety. So because it's such a short little drive shaft, if I don't have it lined up with that, it's such a sharp angle that this won't work. So I got that in there, but there's a lot of potential energy when this thing's loaded up. So that's why I'm trying to kind of stay out of the way of it. And that last cap's just being a bear. And I still can't figure out how I did this on the Pete and Snowman, because of course there was a fifth wheel plate over top of this and I was laying on my back underneath. And I remember these little connector drive shafts, just an absolute nightmare. So if you're gonna build a truck and you're gonna do this, take your fifth wheel off. All right, let's see if we can't give her a little more horsepower. We'll go up to level 4 and try that. All right, I finally got the U-joint off of there. The problem was I didn't have enough jam, so I went and grabbed the new battery in it and it pushed it out. So, one little drive shaft sitting on the ground. And now to get this third member out of here, I guess I gotta undo all of these bolts here and then get the gantry over, and I can just pick it off of this, and I should just be able to pop this third member right on out of here. Okay, what size are those bolts? Not that size. Oh, she's gonna swing, isn't she? There it goes. I should probably support it back here. It's gonna swing and slam down. There, something like that should work. Okay. Up, Mark, not down. Up, you idiot.
Up, you idiot! Up! Too much weight!
Oh, beauty, Clark. Look at that. All right, well, how cool is that? So there's the third member for you. Now, again, a little bit of surface rust, but I don't see any pitting into the teeth. So it was just a little bit of water that was sitting inside the pumpkin there. Yeah, that's gonna need a good cleaning. But overall, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. Now, if you look inside, you can see the pinion and the bearing that supports that. And then of course that spins and then turns the ring gear. Now this current ratio, I believe, from what Dallas told me, is 456. And like I was saying earlier in the episode, I'd like to cut this down to like a 355 or a 373 so we can get a little better mileage and get the old Duke rolling down the highway a little bit faster. So I'll go ahead and set this one down, and then I gotta do the exact same thing up there. And I'm just about ready to pull this thing, but I wanted to show you a little bit about how it works. So of course, the main drive shaft coming from the transmission comes into here, and there's what Dallas refers to as a peanut, but there's another gear here, and this is where the yoke comes in. So drive shaft connects here, and it turns this gear, and as you can see, it's turning the I guess you call that the differential in there, and it's connected to both axles. So it tries to drive the outer wheels on the front drive diff. But then if you hit the little air switch on your dash, that's the interlock. And what that does is there'll be a little piston or a solenoid, and then it would engage the back gear, which turns this guy. And of course it turns the yoke that I took off there, and then turns the drive shaft to the back differential. So it's an interlock where if these guys are just spinning in the gravel, it will give you a little more traction because it'll also send power to the back two tires. Now an interlock is different from a diff lock, because a diff lock, that's a little air switch you hit on the dash, and it moves the solenoid and it engages both tires equally. So it's almost like a pin that goes out, so both of them will turn. Now you'll see that on logging trucks and off-road tractors, but of course you never want to use that on dry roads or pavement, because if these guys are locked together and you go around a corner, this one needs to release a little more. It's kind of like when you weld your diffs together. This tire, if this is the inside corner going this way, this one's going to turn less, and this one's going to turn just a little bit more to go around the corner. And of course, if you got the diff lock in and both axles are engaged equally, you're going to shred them. So you really got to be careful not to use diff lock unless you're in the soft stuff. So there you go, a little lesson between interlock and diff lock, and I'm sure I got some of that wrong. So feel free, if you're an expert, you know more than I do, feel free to comment down below and tell me how I got that wrong. But I think that's how it works. All right, Mark, stop playing here, and let's see if I can't sling this up and rip this guy out of here and get her on the cardboard. Needed some persuasion. All right. Drive the bone in there. There we go. Yeah, doesn't look too bad. Again, a little bit of surface rust, but I don't see any teeth missing, and it's not seized up like the one on my Peterbilt was. So as you can see, the pinion turns down there, and then this turns the ring gear. And if you remember on the axles, they had those spline shafts on the end there. So as the axle goes in through there, it connects in to that. And then as the drive shaft turns, it turns the tires. Just transfers direction of the rotation. But again, I'm gonna get these on the back of the pickup and head over to the gear center and get them rebuilt, get them changed up, and then we'll throw them back in there. So with that, I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks to the day cab company for the wicked interior that I can't wait to put in. Thanks to the Big Rig Chrome Shop and FiberTech for supplying those minty tub fenders. I mean, those are gonna look so cool on the back of this truck. And there is still a ton of work to do on this truck, but I'll get there little by little. Just keep picking away at it. So if you want to catch every episode of the Duke, I put the odd one on YouTube. But if you want to see every episode and help out the channel, go check out my Patreon. The link's down below in the description and in the comments. And with that, yeah, see you next week. And don't ever forget, if you got it, a trucker brought it.